Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's Comic Comics. I have to say, things have gotten pretty exciting in the Marvel world over the last couple of days. At CinemaCon 2026, Marvel dropped the first trailer for Avengers Doomsday, and they actually played it twice. The descriptions coming out, I'm getting goosebumps just reading them. And from what we've heard, this one feels darker and more intense than anything we've seen since Infinity War. The movie is coming to theaters on December 18th, 2026, and if the early reactions are anything to go by, we're in for something special. Alright, let's jump in. Let's talk first things first about what happened at the panel. The Russo brothers came out first and started building the hype, saying that Thanos was nothing compared to what's coming with Doom. Then Robert Downey Jr. stepped on stage and kept it short and sweet. He said something like, "I don't believe in talking too much, so let me show you something the world has never seen." And just like that, they played the trailer. And somehow, still no leaks. Marvel security was not playing around this time, but the descriptions from people who saw it are pretty insane. They also made a couple of important announcements that tie directly into Doomsday. First, Avengers Endgame is getting a theatrical re-release on September 25th, 2026. It won't be exactly the same version we saw in 2019. They're adding some improved deleted scenes and a few surprises, possibly new footage shot during Doomsday production. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a new post-credit scene that helps bridge the two movies, because Doom is the biggest villain in the multiverse saga, and we haven't seen any movie that connects with Doomsday, so it would be better and makes more sense if Marvel releases something that connects with Doomsday. And now, let's talk about the trailer. It is about 2 minutes long. Those who have seen it were saying it has a much darker and more serious tone than the Infinity War movie itself. Let's walk through what we know scene by scene. It opens at the X Mansion like we saw in the Doomsday X-Men trailer. The sign is broken and lying on the ground, and we see Professor X sitting on his chair and looking at a massive energy explosion outside the X Mansion from a window. This may be the start of a major incursion, and it started first on the X-Men universe. Then, we hear Dr. Doom's voice over it, a deep, rough accent that sounds European or British influenced, and it is nothing like Tony Stark. He says something along the lines of, "Something is coming, and they won't be able to stop it. By the end of this day, they will face a choice they never imagined." Then Doom makes his entrance in his green hood and chrome metallic armor, very close to the classic comic look. He does a strong superhero landing in the X-Mansion courtyard. Most of the action seems to happen right there. Some people said we get a quick look at his scarred face, while others say the mask stays on. Either way, this is clearly Victor Von Doom and not a Tony Stark variant. RDJ's performance sounds completely different and very convincing. Then, we cut to a slightly updated Avengers Tower with a new Avengers logo on it. And then, we see one of the wildest moments when Namor uses his powers to split the ocean in half. The desert wasteland we saw in earlier trailer turns out to be the dried-up ocean floor of Talokan. Like, we already talked about this in our Wakanda Doomsday trailer breakdown. We see Sue Storm screaming during the chaos. Shortly after, the Fantastic Four crash in Wakanda. Then, we get a Thor voiceover. He's back with the long hair and beard, and we see his daughter Love with him. He talks about how he's fought many powerful enemies before, but Doom is on another level. He says, if they don't stand together, everything they've sacrificed will be for nothing. If you fight as my brothers and sisters. Mark my words, we're going to need a miracle. And we already know this miracle is going to be our Loki. Then, we get a fast montage of fights, and one of the moments that stood is Gambit faces off against Shang-Chi in a really stylish sequence. Then we see Mystique against Yelena, and Mystique shapeshifts into Yelena during combat. Then we see Cyclops uses his optic blasts, and we get a quick look at Sam Wilson as Captain America. And then we see a destroyed battlefield where Thor goes all out against Dr. Doom. Thor throws Stormbreaker at him with his full thunder and lightning powers, but Doom stops it with just one hand. This is the powerful way to show how dangerous Doom really is, and those who read the comics know how powerful Doom is. We see Herbie the Robot, Scott Lang with Cassie, and Johnny Storm sharing a moment with Sue, and the trailer builds to a standout moment. Thor is struggling badly. Then we hear a familiar voice. It's Steve Rogers, looking rugged with long hair and a beard, dressed in civilian clothes. He raises his hand, and Mjolnir flies straight to him. Thor gives a soft smile. That moment gave me chills. A few smaller details that stood out include the broken X-Mansion sign and energy rift, which feel like a direct nod to the multiversal incursions we've been building toward. The new Avengers Tower with the new Avengers logo suggests the team is evolving. Namor parting the ocean and the dried Talokan floor sets up big tensions between Atlantis, Wakanda, and the Fantastic Four. Doom's accent and design make it very clear this is the real Victor Von Doom from the comics. And Steve's rugged look matches the post-Endgame retirement version we saw in Infinity War. These little touches help tie everything together nicely. There's also talk that Dr. Doom might actually win this round, setting up his bigger role as God Emperor Doom in the next movie. The way the trailer makes him feel unstoppable supports that idea. Overall, the CinemaCon trailer sounds like it delivers both big emotional moments and serious stakes. It has that classic Avengers feeling of unity mixed with real dread about what's coming. I'm really looking forward to seeing the full thing when it drops, and I have a feeling it won't be too long now. What about you? Which moment are you most excited to see? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I always enjoy reading what you guys think. If this breakdown helped clear things up, give it a thumbs up and subscribe so you catch the official trailer reaction when it comes out. Thanks so much for watching. December 18th, 2026 is going to be a big day. Until next time, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.